Hello, kia ora, I'm Philip Duncan and thanks for joining us for our Monday update for May 22nd. We're tracking low pressure moving around the North Island, and as you can see for today, it's sparking a few thunderstorms. But over the days ahead, we've got a mixture of highs and lows, and it's, well, kind of classic autumn weather really. It's a bit all over the place. So we're kicking off with this thundery weather. Now, this is where the thunderstorms were lying when we recorded this video, but they'll be moving around across today. Some of these will disappear, others of them will bubble up and form into new storm cells. But either way, we do see a few thunderstorms around the North Island, and if you don't get thunder, you just might have a few big heavy downpours as that low pressure zone out here moves into the top of the North Island. Now, as you go through till this evening, this is 6 o'clock this evening, that low is moving further north and then it starts to go sideways, moving eastwards out towards East Cape, and that's where it's likely to be by the time we get to tomorrow. Over Australia though, an enormous area of high pressure. So being, in autumn, we do get a mixture of lows and highs, warm days and cold days. So the warmer airflow that you see at the moment is going to change. We'll have a cooler airflow coming through. And so as we go into Tuesday, southerlies will start to come through into places that have had westerlies and northwesterlies. The low out here drives in rain to East Cape, Gisborne, and about as far south as Mahia Peninsula, Northern Hawke's Bay, and then it sort of tapers off to spits and lighter showers the further south you go. So settled weather over Australia with that big high. And in fact, by Wednesday, pretty much parked over the top of Sydney. You've got light winds and it'll be cold for you at night time around that eastern side of Australia. Windier around New Zealand, so that removes the risk of frosts for the North Island, or certainly limits them, with that low offshore still driving in wind and rain and clouds and showers as far south as Kaikoura and maybe even getting into some parts of Canterbury. By Thursday though, in true autumn style, a little bit of high pressure, this bit here, not much. It's enough to push away the low, it's enough to settle things down. So for the most part, Thursday is calm, but now it's Australia's turn to get a classic cold front. Thunderstorms, burst of heavy rain, and then a temperature drop behind it, and of course, windy westerlies, nor'westers turning sou'westers. So by Friday, that colder southerly, it shoots up the eastern coastline into Sydney with potentially gale force southerlies for you, but it fades out by the time you get up to about Brisbane. And on the New Zealand side, our turn to have a warmer wind, a nor'wester kicks in and becomes pretty strong in the lower part of the South Island. Pretty stormy weather going on down in the Southern Ocean as winter gets closer to us. So as you can see, the end of the week's not really too bad in New Zealand, but as we go into the weekend, a low pressure zone out here, yes, another one, taps into subtropical air near Fiji and down towards the North Island as winds turn more westerly over in Australia. And one extra map for you today showing that subtropical northerly, showers, a bit windy and wet once again. This is the time of year that we get a lot of this weather. As we go more into winter, hopefully, we'll see more weather coming out of the Southern Ocean, which will give the top of New Zealand a break from these big rainmakers we've been seeing off and on all year, whether it's low pressure or squash zones or cyclones. So at the moment, another low coming in for this weekend, maybe some severe weather, but don't worry too much. It's not at this stage looking too major, but it could still drive in more problematic rain, especially on top of the rain I was going to say we've already had, but as I look out, I can see it pouring with rain again. So it's, more rain on the way. Anyway, that is all from me. There's still some sunny, dry days this week. It's not all bad news. And hopefully we'll see some better news coming once we get to June. That's all from me for today, though. See you tomorrow, Tuesday, with our next update.